Thank you for your kind introduction. My name is Kenji Shibata from Tohoku Institute of Technology, Sendai. Maybe I should apologize that my talk today have little to do with transcendent computational capability. I'm sorry for that. My talk today is electron transport through single nanocrystal coupled to nanogap metal lead. This is an outline of my talk. After introduction, I show you the quantum dot size dependent single electron transport and the spin correlated carrier transport called Kondo effect. And after the summary, I'll briefly show you the outlook of this study. So this study is on the carrier transport in nanoparticles. Nanoparticles exist in a variety of material like metal, semiconductor, oxide, etc., and find numerous applications like this. Among them, this work targets the semiconductor colloidal nanoparticles. Semiconductor nanoparticles are often called quantum dot and are used in a range of applications from electronics to biology, as shown in this figure. Such a wide range of applications of quantum dot is mainly due to their excellent optical property and also a capability to manipulate their electronic structure through the heterostructure and surface modifications. So in this work, we focus on the carrier transport in the detection and control of carrier transport in a single colloidal quantum dot system. So we focus on the colloidal quantum dot system. Colloidal quantum dot are extremely small semiconductor nanocrystal exhibiting excellent optical properties. Their optical band gap is tunable by adjusting their size, and moreover, they can form a thin film and transport carrier when cross-linked. This property makes a colloidal quantum dot system an excellent candidate for the next generation optoelectronic devices such as solar cell, photodetectors, and LEDs. For these applications, the understanding and control of carrier transport through quantum dot is very important. Among the variety of colloidal quantum dot material, lead sulfide, we call PBS in this talk, is one of the most attractive material due to their tunable emission absorption range in the infrared regime. And PBS quantum dot are also a very standard material commercially available now. And although the detailed study on the PBS quantum dot assembly have reported energy shell dependent electron transport and ligand breaching dependent carrier mobility, but electron transport through a single quantum dot have not been fully elucidated yet. So we have investigated the electron transport through single colloidal PBS quantum dot in order to reveal the nanoscopic insight of the carrier transport at the single quantum dot levels. We also want to explore the application of colloidal quantum dot to quantum information devices. So this slide shows an experimental technique to detect carrier transport in single quantum dot. We fabricated a transistor structure with a single PBS quantum dot as a transport channel. First, we formed a thin gold nanojunction like this onto a silicon dioxide layer grown on a p-type silicon substrate. Then we form a source drain electrode with a very narrow gap here by using the feedback-controlled electrical break junction method. This method is similar to a process of burning out hues. This histogram means fabricated gap size, and about 50% have a gap size of less than 10 nanometer, which is suitable to detect a current through a single quantum dot. After formation of a nanogap source drain electrode like this, we place the sample into a glove box and filled with nitrogen gas and drop casted the solution of PBS quantum dot. This is a SEM image after the drop casting of the quantum dot. This fabrication process is stochastic, and so the fabrication yield that a single quantum dot bridges source drain electrode is very low, and about 10 to 15%. We measured for 3 types of commercial oleic acid capped PBS quantum dot with different quantum dot diameter as shown here. This is a schematic illustration of the sample structure. We used the P-type silicon substrate as a backgate to tune the electronic state of a single quantum dot here. This is a source drain current as a function of the source drain voltage, plotted for different gate voltage from 0 to 30 volt, measured at 4 Kelvin. We see the clear step-like IV structure, so-called Coulomb staircase, seen and modulated by changing the gate voltage. These results strongly suggest that this sample operates as single electron transistors. In the theory of single electron transport, source drain electrode tunnel couples to a single quantum dot here. In such a configuration, source drain tunneling current strongly suppressed at zero source drain voltage due to Coulomb blockade effect, and result in the step-like IV structure called Coulomb staircase. Such IV characteristics are modulated with a sweep of gate voltage along this line due to the gate modulation of the discrete energy levels in the quantum dot here. As a result, diamond-like pattern called the Coulomb diamond are formed in a differential conductance map against the source drain voltage and gate voltages. This differential conductance map is called the Coulomb stability diagram. And in this figure, the number of electrons inside this Coulomb diamond does not change, but it changes with the sweep of the gate voltage one by one. This means that we can control the number of electrons in the quantum dot one by one. That is the reason that this sample is called a single electron transistor. Okay, this is actual experimental results showing the Coulomb diamond structure like this. Although we couldn't determine the actual number of electrons in each Coulomb diamond, we can tell the parity of the number of electrons in the quantum dot. For example, the diamond labeled N+1 is notably larger than that for N and N+2 Coulomb diamond. This is because that the N+1 Coulomb diamond contained even number of electrons and have a larger additional energy that consists of Coulomb charging energy we call EC and orbital quantization energy delta E in the quantum dot. On the other hand, the diamond labeled N and N+2 are a bit smaller because the additional energy are only due to the charging energy EC. So from this kind of figure, we can tell the electronic structure in single quantum dot. For example, from the voltage at the apex of each Coulomb diamond like this, we can tell that N's and N+1's electron occupy the same orbital, and the charging energy for this orbital is estimated to be 120 millielectron volt from the size of this Coulomb diamond. And the energy level spacing to the upper orbital was estimated to be 60 millielectron volt from the difference in size between this Coulomb diamond and this Coulomb diamond. And similarly, from the size of this N+2 Coulomb diamond, the charging energy for the upper orbital was determined to be 100 millielectron volt. Like this, we can tell the electronic structure of single quantum dot from the Coulomb stability diagram. So we measured the Coulomb stability diagram for 3 types of sample with different quantum dot diameter like this. Each Coulomb stability diagram shows a clear Coulomb diamond structure. And the number of the parity of the number of electrons in each Coulomb diamond was determined like this for these two samples. Only for a large quantum dot sample, such even odd behavior of the Coulomb diamond was not clearly observed. Most probably because this sample is we are detecting the many electron regime. And in that regime, the many orbitals are almost degenerated and have no energy level spacing. So that leads to the diamond structure with almost the same sizes. So from the size of the small Coulomb diamond, like this, in each sample, we can estimate the charging energy for each sample like this, showing the clear quantum dot size dependence. The charging energy decreases with increase of quantum dot sizes. This indicates a reduced electron-electron Coulomb interaction in large quantum dot sample. This is reasonable because charge density of single electron decreases at high with a large quantum dot. And especially the observation of very large charging energy in these small quantum dot sample strongly suggests that the devices with small quantum dot operate as single electron transistor even at room temperature. So we measured the Coulomb stability diagram at room temperature. This is such a result. Although there's a tendency that the noise increases at higher temperature, we still observe the diamond structure in Coulomb stability diagram, indicating that this sample operates as single electron transistor even at room temperature. It is known that the criterion for high temperature operation of single electron transistor is like this. The charging energy should be more than 4 kBT. In this sample, charging energy is more than 120 millielectron volt owing to the very small quantum dot size. And 4 kBT is around 100 millielectron volt at room temperature. So it is reasonable that we observe the Coulomb diamond structure even at room temperature. To my knowledge, this is the first room temperature operation of single electron transistor in semiconductor colloidal quantum dot system. Next, we discuss the magnitude of the tunneling conductance. This data shows the Coulomb oscillation characteristics measured at 4 Kelvin for different two samples. Coulomb oscillation means that the differential conductance at zero source drain voltage as a function of the gate voltage. This plot means line plot, for example, for this sample, along this line at zero source drain voltage. So the conductance peak indicates the addition of single charge into the quantum dot. So in this figure, the paired Coulomb peak have almost the same conductance and one order of magnitude lower conductance than the other paired Coulomb peak. This behavior suggests that these paired Coulomb peaks are in spin up and spin down state, occupying the same orbital. This figure shows additional energy as a function of the number of electrons for these samples. It should be noted that the additional energy for n is larger than that for n plus 2. This means that the charging energy for n electron is slightly larger than that for n plus 2 electron, this indicates that the electron wave function in the quantum dot becomes more extended in space with increasing number of electrons. All these results strongly suggest that the tunneling barrier in my sample is formed not only by the capping material, the oleic acid in my case, but also by the intrinsic gap between the electron wave function and the electrode, as schematically shown by the black arrow. Because the tunneling conductance exponentially depends on the tunneling gap. Even a small change in the size of electron wave function gives rise to a large difference in the conductance like this. So these data show the nanoscopic insight of the carrier transport at a single quantum dot levels. Next, let me introduce a spin-correlated carrier transport called Kondo effect. This is again the Coulomb stability diagram obtained for a very high conductance sample. So conductance is very high for this sample. In such a high conductance sample, we observed clear enhancement at zero bias conductance like this in the Coulomb blockade regime. This behavior arises from the formation of a spin singlet state between the unpaired electron in the quantum dot with an electrode with an opposite spin in the electrode. This is called a spin half Kondo effect, so spin-related transport phenomena. And so this conductance peak is called Kondo peak. This data shows the temperature dependence of the Kondo peak. The Kondo peak grows with decreasing temperature. This is a typical behavior of the Kondo effect. It is known that the Kondo temperature in single electron transistor can be estimated from the width of this Kondo peak, W, using this relation. And for this sample, the Kondo temperature Tk was estimated to be 30 Kelvin. This is 1 to 2 order higher Kondo temperature than lithographically defined quantum dot system like this. We also found a sample with much higher conductance. In such a very high conductance sample, we observed a very large Kondo peak with its width of 7 millivolt that correspond to the very high Kondo temperature as high as 80 Kelvin. It is also known that the Kondo temperature in single electron transistor is described by this formula. This indicates that the Kondo temperature Tk is mainly limited by charging energy EC and tunneling coupling energy between quantum dot and electrode gamma. So Tk is limited by EC and gamma, tunnel coupling energy. In our sample, the charging energy is 120 milli-electron volt and very large. So small coupling energy gamma limits the Kondo temperature in this system. It is reasonable because boric acid, the capping material in my sample, is known as a long chain insulating ligand that blocks the charge carrier transport through a quantum dot. So the observation of very high Kondo temperature in boric acid capped PBS quantum dot strongly suggests the feasibility of realizing a much higher Kondo temperature up to room temperature, I think, by replacing the boric acid with short chain ligand, which may add the Kondo effect as one of the charge carrier transport mechanisms in colloidal quantum dot assembly operated at room temperature. So this is a summary. These data are already published in Nature Communications 1 and a few months ago. So for more detail, please check this paper. And let me introduce the outlook of this study after the publication of this paper. After the publication of that paper, we worked on these 3 topics. First one is to explore the other quantum dot material. And the second one is observation of more spin physics. And last one is observation of the interaction with infrared or terahertz light. As for the exploration of other nanoparticle materials, we already have a preliminary experiment on the perovskite nanocrystal and colloidal indium arsenide quantum dot system. And in both samples, in both material systems, we measured very clear Coulomb diamond structure like this. And moreover, in the perovskite nanocrystals, we observed the instability in transport property at high temperature of around more than 240 Kelvin. The conductance switches high conductance and local conductance many times. This behavior is probably due to the electric field-induced migration of ion of this material, which is reported by the other group for the perovskite thin film system. So this behavior, switching behavior, is an intrinsic feature of this material for the first time detected in the single quantum dot levels. As for the indium arsenide quantum dot system, we observed a very large Zeeman splitting in the magnetic field, so which corresponds to the large electron G factor of more than 10. This kind of large G factor is also the intrinsic feature of indium arsenide quantum dots. So like this, we observe the material intrinsic features at a single quantum dot levels. As for the observation of Moore spin physics, we fabricated a sample with a ferromagnetic nickel electrode like this. In such a sample, in addition to the very clear Coulomb diamond structure, tunneling magnetic resistance effect, TMR effect, was observed like this. And interestingly, the TMR changes its polarity from positive to negative depending on the gate voltage. So this device is a gate tunable TMR devices. This is interesting. But similar behavior already reported in other systems like nanotube, carbon nanotube, and self-assembled indium arsenide quantum dot system at low temperature. So our target on this topic is first room temperature operation of this behavior. We are now working on that issue. And the last topic is observation of the interaction with terahertz and infrared light. In the single electron transistor, applying the time-varying oscillating potential to a single quantum dot induce inelastic tunneling event called photon-assisted tunneling. And photon-assisted tunneling is very important in single electron transistor because in association with the application to the quantum information processing, and mainly performed in the gigahertz frequency range. But our sample, the energy scale is around 100 milli-electron volt that correspond to the terahertz and the infrared light. So we are preparing the experimental setup for the photon-assisted tunneling for infrared or terahertz light. As a first step for such a purpose, we set up an experimental system for terahertz radiation and also sample with multi-antenna structure for terahertz wave in collaboration with Professor Hirakawa and Kuroyama at University of Tokyo. And we are almost ready to start that experiment at terahertz frequency range. So this is the last slide. Okay, this work I have done in collaboration with Professor Otsuka at Tohoku University, Professor Bisri at TUAT, Professor Hirakawa at University of Tokyo, Professor Iwasa at RIEC, and all the students in my laboratory. This work has we have a technical support from Fundamental Technology Center and Laboratory for Nanoelectronics and Spintronics, RIEC, Tohoku University. We also have a research fund from the JKN and JSPS. We sincerely appreciate their contributions. So thank you very much.